So as you can see, we're on a ceasefire. Everyone's behind the safety line. Nobody's touching the firearms. On both sides, rifle and pistol. Alright guys, so we're at the range, and this is a quick little setup of what I was talking about yesterday. If you're gonna be shooting at the range, I always recommend a spotter scope, your data book, your anemometer, obviously your rounds, and this is just the basics. Alright, where everybody's down range, setting up their targets, we're gonna prepare this book because we're gonna add a secondary zero to the rifle. So let's go over here. Right now we have good light conditions. Okay, we don't have a lot of bad clouds. We don't have no dark overcast. So we're gonna put light overcast. Okay, our temperature is actually 90 degrees. Here's the anemometer so you can see. So 89.2. I'm just gonna leave it at 90. Okay, our wind direction right now is a tailwind, meaning the wind is flying in from behind me in this direction. We have a lot of grass, so we're not gonna worry about the mirage. And speedy miles per hour wind right now. We're gonna take this anemometer, hold it like this, let it record. 3.5 mile per hour wind. Now, this is a no value wind because the wind is gonna be flying from behind us. Okay, my sights on the weapon are gonna be 0 and 0. We are gonna add a new 0 to this gun. So we're gonna start off with these. Once I start shooting, I'm gonna use this box with the spotter scope so then I can figure out my shots in order. And then these little boxes down here I'm gonna be using to write down information to come up with a 0. So as we get started, I'll start recording some more. Alright guys, so now the objective is to take this round, chamber it into the gun. We're gonna be using all of these boxes right here in conjunction with our scope to be able to fire the shot at the target, which is right there. We're gonna be plotting shots. We're gonna be plotting the shots right here. And we're gonna be calling the shots right here. Whatever information we have. Alright, let me show you. What I did was, I had my crosshair set up right here in the middle. So when I let my first shot loose, since my cross was in the middle, I'm going to put a dot. And we're gonna go ahead and go to the scope. We're gonna look and see where exactly did the bullet hit. And then we are gonna come back here and we are going to put down exactly where it hit, but we're gonna mark it as a number, not as a dot. All right guys, we have impact on target. Let's see if I can get that with the optic. So I know it came out looking sloppy, but it hit exactly on the bottom right of the X in the actual X ring. So we're gonna leave it exactly where it's at. And now we're gonna come back over here. First shot. If this would have been the X, our first shot would have hit right here. So the depth that I have set up on my scope is 0 wind pitch, 0 elevation. I'm gonna leave it right here as zero elevation, zero windage, and we are zeroed with this rifle and this bullet at 25 yards. Now I'm gonna make a recording of this. We're gonna go to the 50-yard line, and we're gonna add a secondary zero. And by the time we're done doing everything, we're gonna have another data chart on the rifle itself. All right, guys. So this is the first shot right here. That's what it looks like when I shot it. I'm gonna go ahead and take a second shot just so you can see exactly where it impacts on target. So we already know this rifle is zeroed at 25. Let's go for a second shot. Second shot key, we're gonna leave it alone. It's gonna stay at 0, 0. Once we see fire, we'll go ahead and cover up those two shot holes. We're gonna run it now into a further distance. All right, guys, let's sight in on target. So right now my cell phone is hooked up to the spotter scope. Here is my target. We are gonna clean this up in a minute. All right, I locked us in, and we're gonna adjust the parallax. Make sure our target looks nice and clear, and we are on it. So same concept. I'm gonna go ahead and take another shot. Even though you see in the center of my target, let me zoom it in. All right, you see the white tape. I'm not worried about that tape. We're gonna still shoot and see where this lands. All right, everybody, I am back home. I'm done with shooting for today. So I want to talk with you guys a little bit about what we worked with today. Today was the Winchester 17 Winchester Super Magnum round. This one was a 20 grain bullet. So this is the little bullet right here that I worked with today. And so when you read the box, if you do not know what these numbers are, check it out. 20 grain is not the amount of gunpowder inside here. 20 grain is actually what this projectile weighs. And so I took it out with the rifle and I went to get my zeros for it. And I want to show you some results that I think are not good, but yet for anybody else, they might be good because they're in the black. So let's check this out. Let's get a nice good look at this, okay? Now notice there's nothing outside, everything is inside. But like I say, when I shoot with precision. Precision has nothing to do with this, but I want to show you how interesting it works out. So I'm gonna take my cool little book. I'm gonna open it up. Excuse me. I'm gonna open it up and I want to talk some numbers here. Okay, I filled this out prior to shooting. I did this as I was shooting, and as I would do this and write down my information here, I was plotting here. So if you look, there are numbers, okay? Now if you look here, you have your bullet holes. So each bullet hole is the order in which I shot in. So this is what I came to see about the 17 Winchester Super Magnum bullet that I did not like. At 25 yards, there are 3 bullet holes right here. They're keyholed. Now we were zeroing, so it's okay if you're zeroing for you to aim at the middle and then your bullet impacts on the outside and you just adjust the sights, because all you're doing for zeroing is you're aligning your eye with your crosshairs, with the barrel, with a specific distance. So I zeroed for 25, I zeroed for 50, I zeroed for 75. Okay, but for normal people zeroing, it is okay to have the impacts out here, because we can start out here, but the important thing is we finish in here. So now, check this out. When I got to 100, look at the shot groups out here. And so it lets me know that when you take a little bullet like this, regardless of how good you are at shooting, at 100 yards, more than likely, you are not going to get accuracy out of something like this. This little itty bitty thing only weighs 20 grains. and I was pushing it to 150 feet in distance, including the wind and the weather effects and all of that stuff. So look how interesting. Let's go over here to my book, and let's try to just stick here where we can match it up. At 100 yards, I had shot, one of my shots was up here. I gave it 4 clicks down, 4 clicks right, meaning it should have moved 1 inch down, 1 inch right. So one of the other shots came in through here. Let me use this so you can see it better. Came in through here. Then I gave it 4 down and 4 right. And then instead of going 1 inch down and 1 inch right, that other shot came in here. I said, well, it must have been a bad shot. Let me just take another shot because maybe I screwed it up. When I took another shot, it came out through one of these. So I think this was my first, second, third, and then fourth. Okay, and then as I went to the right, I gave it 4 more clicks to the right, thinking it'll move it. It came here, then it came here, then it came here. And so for somebody that has no idea how to shoot, I can understand that. But the fact that I do know how to shoot, and I was doing everything correctly, and it was bouncing over here, it was really starting to get on my nerves. But it lets me know that the coefficient for this bullet probably ran out a long time ago. So I would probably assume or say that something like this would be great to shoot up to 80 yards, maybe 85 yards. But if you add 100 or more, you're gonna start seeing stuff like this, okay? And I really wouldn't recommend taking a little bullet like this and try to push it out that far. So now check this out. And I don't know if the camera's gonna pick it up really good, but I rolled stuff here, I rolled stuff here, and I rolled stuff here. So this was prior to me shooting my last bullet. This was my second to last, and this was my last. So one of my bullets hit here. So in here, I happened to go 1 click up and 1 click right on my scope. Meaning this group, this bullet hole on my second shot should have hit somewhere in here. It would have gone 1/4 up and 1/4 right. So the next impact should have been here. But instead, it impacted here. Now, I was really angry about that because I felt like my intelligence was insulted. But when you go ahead and look at this box, let me see if the camera can pick it up. Down here, where it talks about your wind drift, this is what the wind will do to this little bullet. Excuse me. Here you go. This bar right here is what the wind does to your bullet as it's in flight. And when you look at this one, we're gonna go to 100 yards, right? Where are we at? 100 yards. Wait, are we? Yeah. So it says here the wind will more than likely deflect your bullet 1.7 inches. So the thing is this, because we have these stupid hurricanes supposedly coming over here, we have had higher than normal wind gusts. Between here to here, I measured it, and you get a little bit over 3 inches. So I'm thinking, okay, that the bullet, since it lost its ballistic coefficient, did deflect because it had no more force to fight all the resistance. And I'm thinking it did shift, but because we shot it from so far away with a gust of wind, it might have probably dropped it over here. Am I saying that's what happened? No, but maybe it did, or maybe it could happen, because you have a little 20 grain projectile being pushed 150 feet in distance. And today we did have strong winds. Once the wind started shifting up, we can assume that our winds must have been pretty damn heavy. I didn't calculate them at the end because this was my last shot. I was not expecting that to happen. I was expecting my last shot to be somewhere in through this area. So anyways, guys, just a quick little review about the 17 Winchester Super Magnum bullet. Do I like it? Yeah. But shooting it at 100 yards, don't be surprised if you're a very good shooter and you shoot it at 100 yards and you see stuff like this, you start losing your accuracy. Now, for the rest of my target, everything is good, everything is clean. But I definitely learned that I will not take these little bullets and try to shoot them at 100 or 100 plus yards. Guys, I hope you all have a wonderful time and enjoy watching my video. Feel free to comment, share, like it, subscribe, ask me questions. I am here for you. And also, please remember, if you are looking forward to getting trained, I am teaching every Wednesday through Sunday. All you need to do is reach out to me and sign up for my classes. Have a nice day. Have a nice time.